I'm sorry. A little bit poor planning on my side. Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Actually, I'm going to try that again. Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? I brought my bong. I brought my grinder. I brought my book of things we're saying. I brought my cards. I brought my water bottle and Hermes Blur, but I didn't bring any water. So I'm gonna be back again. I promise. Shanna, Fran, and Amara, and Melton more. If you're reading this, you're receiving lurbs. You hear that? You hear that, PK? PK Ripper, you just got lurbs, dude. You just got so lurbs. Lol, this bong cracks me up. It's very mild. You like it? Yes. Magic. Actual magic artifact. This thing is straight up magic. This came out of someone's mind. You know, a friend of mine, a girlfriend of a best friend, made me this. She was like, "Yes, I'm gonna make you a bong melt." I'm like, "Sick!" And I thought it was gonna be just pipe and bong attachment. And then she did this. She put the tree of life with the eye of Horus, the atom, the wheel, the Ouroboros, the peace symbol, Om, little Jesus fish, the cycles of the moon, and of course, the infinity, the yin and the yangs. And then I asked for a personal symbol. This is the one I chose. This is supposed to be a bridge to spirit, apparently. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? I'm out of coins, but here's my stars. Thank you for inspiring today's topic, Aunt B. I mean, it's kind of weird, you know, and that's why I mentioned watch how you co-create, because the topic that I came here with was actually let people help you, but serving is helping. So you were perfectly in tune today, Aunt B. It's kind of trippy. So instead of saying the word help, I said serve. Thank you for co-creating with me. I'm gonna be back in a second. I'm gonna go get some water. Love you. Love you. That's what gosh. Alrighty then. Move this back a little bit. Plonk myself down and get comfy. There's B. Oh, I had chills. I knew the stream would be good. And you helped manifest it on B, quite literally. I have 3 topics lined up. This was the first of the 3. So I was like, yes, Aunt B. Message received. We'll talk about service today. Service. Goodness. Service. Oh, service. One of my cousins is going to get married at a venue that doesn't have service. I know it's not at all related, Auntie, but this is a message that I got from the universe today. You will not be attending one of your cousins' weddings because there's no service. And I was like, okay. And then when you sent me a message about service, I was like, at first, I was like, what? And then I realized you meant the actual service. The service that is the service that we are serving. You know, one another. Quite literally, one another. And I appreciate you so much, Aunt B, because this morning, your morning, YouTube friend, Joe, Amara was saying hi to you after yoga. Thank you for the love. Usually, Giovanna is a little bit more quiet during the yoga streams, which is perfectly fine as well. We even had Ernest yesterday in the Sangha. Sangha was good fun as well. Time has been wacky to me as of late. Oh goodness, what is time even? You know, like I fully realized that yesterday was Sunday, and yesterday I did the yoga stream, and then my main stream, and then the Sangha stream, and we had cool chats. You know, we had some chats about our pets with Jovan and Shannon, and Ernest was there with us, and I can remember it very clearly, but it feels like it happened years ago. It was like, yeah, this distant memory, if anything. So nice to have you here. It's very trippy because it was literally 5:58 and you go live at 9. Did not think you'd get that message for today, and I'm so glad you did. I usually don't open messages, but I felt I needed to open yours. And I usually don't open messages just before my stream because then I have a bunch of mental baggage. But your message, I was like, Aunt B needs to say something. And then I went and I looked, and here we are, Aunt B, having manifested a topic for today. Service. Like I was going into the trip of saying thank you for the service that you provide, Aunt B. This morning, Aunt B was streaming, and as I was preparing to get ready for my yoga, I've been tense as of late. I've been pretty tense. Like I've been tense about a bunch of things, and I've not been really taking self-care days at all, like not even remotely. And then today, I get it in my mind. Yeah, actually, last night, I get it in my mind. Today, I'm gonna care for myself. I say I'm gonna take a bath with, coconut oil. That was my initial plan. And then today came around, and I was like, not only taking a bath with coconut oil, but I have this magnesium and calcium powder. So I was like, yeah, coconut oil, magnesium, and calcium in the water. And I was like, yeah, and pink Himalayan sea salt. And I mixed this, kind of concoction together that I'm going to add to my bath water. And I'm pouring myself a bath of water, and it's completely to the hot side, and it's filling. And I go to touch the water, and it's like ice cold, like deadly cold. And I'm like, oh, we don't have hot water right now. And I really sit with this feeling of like, really, universe? Really? Really now? The one day, like I've had, I think, a single bath. Yes, I only bath once a year. The rest of the time I shower. I took like a single bath somewhere in this year, and then the one day that I decide, yes, gonna take another bath, the universe is like, nah, fam. I'm sorry, you're not actually gonna take a bath. So maybe tomorrow. What are your thoughts on alcohol? Blunt Narwhal. That's a good question. I'll answer it after saying hi to our beloved part animator. Joy V, if it's nice to have you. I can't relax, says Angry Boy 9001. You don't have to relax, friend. You just have to breathe. Relaxation comes along eventually. Just breathe, friend. In and out. In this moment. Just become aware. And as you become aware, I'm going to imprint this a soul bridge into my brain. And then I'm going to really kind of program into my mind service. What it means to be at service, of service to people. What it means to accept service from people. And I don't know if it's more importantly, but importantly, with the topic that I want to share today, or kind of the point I want to touch on, is allowing yourself to serve someone, kind of like transcending that pride, that ego of, I don't have to do this thing for this person. I don't have to bring this person a coffee because that is such and such's job, or so and so's job, right? Again, allowing yourself to be of service. And then again, on the other side, allowing yourself to be served. People want to help you. People actually want to help you. But it's so difficult for us to accept help. It's so difficult for us to be served in the same capacity that we serve. And I don't know if we need to have balance there, but I think it's important for us to try and find balance there. So with all of those intentions set, you see, press those little rocky bits into my hand, creates an interesting texture. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know why, but it fascinates me to do stuff like that. Like anything, pretty much anything that has a bumpy texture, I like to press it against my skin and see what my skin does with it. Yes, it is in fact weird, Melt. Thank you. So, to the intention of service, friends. It's a small little bowl. Ba-dum bum, ba-dum bum, bum. that will definitely do it. Suddenly, tetrahydrocannabinol molecules are rushing through my bloodstream, actively transcending my blood brain barrier, creeping into every little cannabinoid receptor that it can find. The human experience and our ways of altering it, making it different, making it more, sometimes making it less. But it's almost like the human experience in and of itself is the thing we're here for. And I say almost kind of coyly, so that you can think about it, but I believe that is literally what we're here for. That we get so caught up in this search for meaning, even this search to serve something or another, not realizing that you, friend, are the meaning. You are the server of the meaning. That on the most fundamental level. What, puppy? It's Yudi. It's just Yudi. It's just Yudi. It's just Yudi but Doody. Yudi Doody. It's a Yudi Doody. Puppy is being so dramatic. Now she's trying to play with him. Okay, so what are your thoughts on alcohol? Blunt narwhal. Let me tell you a story instead of giving you an opinion. So you can see how I've come to the opinions I have instead of just telling you my opinions. So I don't know if actively drinking is the right word, but I was recreationally drinking as a 15, 16-year-old because I had one friend whose parents were pretty wealthy, so they would just go on vacation. They bought him a motorcycle when he was like 14 so he could drive himself to school, and then they would just go on vacations, leaving him the house and enough money to buy himself food and stuff with, or leaving him with a credit card or whatever. So we would go to Leroy's house, and my parents would be like, oh, okay, he's going to Leroy's house, believing that there's going to be a parent present, and there never was. So it was a good time, there was a lot of freedom in those moments. But alongside that freedom, and us being 15, 16-year-old kids living in a town that we do, like we have one high school, and this one high school has neighboring towns coming to the same high school, and even with neighboring towns coming to the same high school, there's only like 600 students. So it's a small town. There's not much to do, and drinking is definitely one of them. Drinking and having sex, I guess, is the pastimes here. And it became like this almost expectation that if you wanted friends, that is what you needed to do. You can't have friends and not do what friends do with one another, kind of vibe. So I did what needed to be done, to say it in the most blunt of terms. And then I, through circumstance, was no longer going to the same school, no longer had the same friends, no longer had the same environment. When I went to Kiro, that was basically the school I went to after being in that school. I met some English friends, and they kind of introduced me to, I don't know if they introduced me to weed, but they had people who could sell them weed, So I asked them if they could help me get some weed with them, and they were also the first people that I ever asked to help me get mushrooms. But it basically was this process of finding out there are different things in the world other than alcohol. Especially coming from an Orthodox Christian upbringing, alcohol is like seen as the acceptable one because Jesus made wine. Even though that we know in like the biblical terms, the way they translated wine was literally a synonym for drugs. He didn't turn water into wine. He turned water into drugs. That is like technically the right definition. That's how it should be interpreted, because it wasn't like grape juice fermented in the way that we understand it. It was some sort of herbal remedy mixed into water that made it potent. So it was very much a drug. And like in the Christian world right now, the wine is given as a sacrament, so it's now seen as something that can be holy. So that was the only thing that was acceptable. I heard these horror stories of people on marijuana, like the stories was, and a very racially biased as well, that African individuals smoke marijuana and then they hype themselves up, and then it equips them to actually, rob you or uh, hijack your car or come into your house and kill you. Like, these are the stories I was told as a child. And alcohol was the thing that was now okay, right? Alcohol had none of these stories attached to it. And then I kind of came into the world, started drinking myself, and then I watched what alcohol did to people, how they acted, how they reacted, the promiscuity that came along with it. And I was like, huh, it's interesting that this is the thing that is completely legal, completely acceptable. And then again, as I mentioned, I found marijuana, and I had like a mushroom trip as well during that time of my life. But then after that, I had a cousin turning 21, and we went to her birthday party, and she was like a married cousin. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. We say in Afrikaans aangetrouwde niggie, which means my uncle married someone who had kids, and now they're my cousins. So she had family on her side, and her family was a little bit more experienced with drinking than I am still to this day. And they kind of spotted me at this event, and they made it their mission to make me as drunk as possible, which they succeeded. And that was the first night I ever didn't remember what happened the previous day. I learned from other people the next day that I took the key rack where everybody hanged their keys. I took the entire key rack off of the wall, and then with the key rack in my arms, walked to the parking lot, and then picked a car that I like, and then continued to go through each key trying to unlock the car so I can GTFO. And I hear this story the next day, and I'm like, excuse me, I did what? And I also learned that I said a bunch of mean things to my mom about her being two-faced with the relationship I have with my dad. So, like, I heard the relationship I have with my mom as well during that stupor, to say it in that way. And then the next morning, kind of recovering from that whole experience, I had to sit in the car with my uncle for like 6 hours as he was lecturing me about how I'm messing my life up, you know. And I realized in that moment that alcohol not only isn't something that necessarily serves me, but is something that can do the opposite, where I I wouldn't do something like that. I wouldn't try and steal someone's car to get out of it in a normal, like smoking a bong, for example. That is not something I would do. And clearly alcohol can facilitate behavior like that. So it was like a very poignant reflection that I completely disdained. And I kind of made a vow to not drink alcohol ever again after that experience. And I completely transitioned to smoking marijuana and occasionally eating mushrooms. And I learned exponentially more about myself, about my ticks, about the things that kind of, make me paranoid, the things that rile me up. And it allowed me a means to actually do work on myself instead of allowing me to forget about the fact that I can do work on myself in the way that alcohol would. So that is my opinion on alcohol, my thoughts on alcohol. I believe it has a place. It can be a really good social lubricant. But unfortunately, it's very bad for you in all aspects. It's bad for your brain, it's bad for your body, it's bad for your liver, it's bad for your energy metabolism. It's just not good for you. Where, I mean, it's not great for me to be smoking something, but I can eat edibles, and I, can eat mushrooms as well. I feel we're transitioning. The big thing of alcohol is, and that's why it's popular, is you can like also use it every single day. But if I had to choose, and this is one of those, picking between two devils type of situations, because I can't tell someone what they should do, what they should be doing, because I don't know. But if I could, in a snap of a finger, change the drug of choice from alcohol to marijuana, I would. That's my thoughts, friend. Thank you for asking. So nice to have you here. Nova, I see you, dude. I see you. Oh, give it back, bubble wrap. So much love. Mouth more, everyone. Well, then you get drunk and more drunk. Nah, being drunk is not fun. Imagine if we lived in a world where weed was legal and alcohol was illegal and seen as a drug just as bad as meth and heroin. Technically, it is, you know? If alcohol had to go through the same FDA approvals that every other drug that we're consuming right now has to go through, there's no chance in hell that alcohol actually passes the FDA approval process. How are you? Thank you for asking, Nova. I remember getting blackout drunk. I woke up in a hospital bed naked with the nurses holding me down. Yeah, you see, that's like, I've never been in an experience like that, smoking some weed, you know? I've never woken up in a hospital bed with people holding me down after smoking a bowl of weed. So that to me is like, yeah, one of them, this is a possibility. I might, break my intermittent fasting and eat some popcorn. And the other reality is waking up naked, manically being held down by nurses. Yes. Yes, ultimate consequences of my weed smoking is breaking my diet. Ultimate consequences of, excessive drinking is absolute mania. Straight up go manic. It was horrible. The worst experience of my life, and I never want to be drunk again. It's just horrible, and you can die. Alcohol is so dangerous. Yeah, that's also a thing. Alcohol actually does have a toxic limit. If you manage to kill yourself smoking weed, you'll be like one of the first. So don't try, please. I am doing all right, Nova. Happy to be here. Thank you for asking. How are you, friend? Thank you for asking, Shan. Be careful, friend. Like, do let us know. If you need something to, if, like, hey, friends, stuff has been brutal. Let us know so we can be like with you. Send you some love, send you some thoughts. It is bad, but the government and police see it as something that you can easily control in the way of drinking in moderation. Yes, that, and it's extremely lucrative, dude. Like the amount of controversy that there is in the alcohol industry. You do realize they sell licenses as well. So not only do they sell the alcohol, but they sell you the right to sell the alcohol. So there's like levels of corruption. There's so many people, money changing hands, dude. The alcohol industry. I had the best stream this morning. Really enjoyed it myself. It's nice when it's like that, right, Monty? It feels completely natural. It doesn't feel like you're actually doing something. So sorry about your water. I swear it says. I swear this says we set out on a mission. There seems to be more roadblocks. I feel it is that way, but it's also good to kind of the days we set out on a mission. I think it also helps us to really pay attention to how we react to things. Like that's what I've been paying attention to more than anything. It's just how I'm going to react. Like, sure, these things are gonna happen, but how are you going to react when they happen? And that's the true power we really have. Let's read something worth saying before we get any deeper into the stream. What creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. How about that, Anvi? As a thing we're saying directly after what we just shared. What creates experience is how you decide to view the events that come up in your life. So, wanting to take a bath and being given cold water, what creates the experience is how I choose to perceive it. And initially, I perceived it as, are you kidding me? Are you for serious? Why? Why now? And then I was like, okay, guess I'm doing something else. And then I did. And then I found joy, I found presence within the something else as well. Thoughts on putting other people before yourself, but without self-sacrificing to the point where you are damaging yourself. Blazed sea turtles. The only word that comes to mind reading your sentence is balance. Balance. And balance looks different every single day, friend. Sometimes you need the whole day for yourself. Sometimes you need an hour for yourself. And it's, I think, more important to check in with yourself, to love yourself and to care about yourself, to put yourself first enough, so that you can put others first as well. It's one of those paradoxes, and I think Aunt B literally just said balance as well. Like that's her response. Perfectly right. Aunt B, can really be hard. It can. Hey, Maxine is joining us as well. So nice to have you. Good day to you. You slept well. You schmexy. Sofa. I was thinking about you and saying you schmexy today, dude. It was a whole vibe. Love to you. We have YVM here as well. Love to you, friends. Nice to see you again. Melty, no! You got blackout drunk and tried to steal a car. I mean, yes. Once in my life when I was technically 18. And I say technically because it was like the 1st of May and my birthday was on the 14th of May when I turned 18. That didn't happen. No. Seriously. You will always see drops fall on me, but you'll never see drops and fall back into my cup. Mm. Time continues going, intersecting this reality. Alcohol can be horrible. It's a poison. It literally dissolves your insides, and then your body rampantly tries to fight that process, and that makes you drunk. Oh, thanks for the story and answering the question. I'm trying to quit, and it's somewhat of a struggle. Like, pretend that I'm not saying these words, and that you're thinking them yourself. Yes. How do I excuse myself of any liability by saying something that I believe? Imagine, imagine a world where there's a person who struggles with alcohol. You're imagining Blunt Narwhal? Okay, good. And in this world where this person struggles with alcohol, he was like really trying to at least find a solution. And one of the solutions that the universe posed is that he should eat 3 grams of mushrooms and then see what the universe poses needs to be done next. you know and this in this universe, this person who decided to do this thing had an experience. I can guarantee. I can't say what the experience was like, whether it was good or bad, whether it was helpful or not, but I can guarantee you there was an experience had, and that experience can never be taken away. So take that as you may. Blunt narwhal. That's the only thing that I can even get close to. I don't know if you know, but the person that actually started the Alcohols Anonymous (AA) did so after having an LSD trip. How about that? He never drank again. It showed him. It was like, hey, oh, how about you don't? How about if you keep doing this, death? How about it? And it's like, it shows you. It's like, look. And you cannot be like, no, I don't want to see, because it's like, oh, you don't want to see? I'm just going to put the thing behind your hands. What do you mean? Inside your brain. Can't escape yourself, friend. Blunt Narwhal, you got this. So much love to you. Thank you for joining us, Mariah. I've been thinking about you so much. Thank you for the love bomb. How nice of you. It's game. It's bad. Government easy. It's extremely easy to get too drunk and just continue to drink more and more. Yeah, you get into a loop. It's like a warning. As soon as you sip it, you wince out of disgust. The taste is a warning sign, especially if it's strong, dude. Your body literally detects alcohol as a compound, because it was what fruits would produce if it was going bad. So it was like a response of like, this is no longer edible. Don't eat this. Literally poison. Honestly, things are heavy on my mind, but I don't feel comfortable sharing them here. It's completely okay, Shannon. You are loved, seen, and appreciated. Regardless of what we go through, it doesn't make you any less. Thank you for still being of service. The best kind of bomb. The best kind of bomb. Love bombs. All things in moderation. Even moderation, Rambler. It's nice to see you, friend. Thank you for joining us as well, the Merman. Weirdly enough, Merman, I was gonna wear your orange scarf today, but the last time I wore this shirt, I wore your orange scarf. So I opted out not to wear your orange scarf for this pink one. So tomorrow I'll be wearing the merman scarf again. Well, technically the Stephanie scarf, but sending you two so much love. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bay. Yeah, I once got myself into a closed psych ward because I got too drunk and had a flashback thing during that. You see, like, I've never also found myself in a closed psych ward. I'm so sorry to hear that, VM. I mean, you're online right now, so I'm guessing you're out. I'm happy that you're safe, friend. I struggled with alcoholism for years. I had to make myself move away from the New Orleans You think the culture there made it almost impossible for you to stop drinking sofa, sofa, sofa? Good on you for trying. I mean, this is the way we start. Sending you strength when it no longer serves you. I hope you can let it go. Thank you, Bart Animator, for that power as well. Look who it is. It is Talia, but I'm thinking Sunny. There we go. Is Sunny with you right now, Talia? Sending you so much love. I'm imagining, lol. Good. Imagine, Blunt. Imagine, friend. Agent, be polite. Love to you too. Is weed legal in South Africa? It is. It is. And in celebration of legal weed in South Africa, I had this conversation with Brother Ryan recently about this sense of duty I feel as a weed smoker in the 21st century. You know, where all of the people, like literally the previous 100 years. Is that Isaac that I just saw tune in? Ooh. Love you, Isaac. So much. So much, dude. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you here. I've been thinking about you, been missing you, dude. So, as a weed smoker in the 21st century, over the last 100 years, people have been paranoidly smoking weed, you know, like behind dumpsters, in alleyways, you know, like getting away from their apartment building to make sure nobody smells it, out of deathly fear that they're gonna get the cops called on them. That was like the world we used to live in, you know, the weed smoking culture we used to live in. And now, me as an individual, as a partaker of marijuana, I get to smoke weed having none of that. Having none of that anxiety, having none of that stress that what I'm doing is going to somehow be prosecuted and I'm going to have my life absolutely ruined because I like to have a relationship with a plant, you know, which is literally all our relationships when it comes to our consumption. You've been eating plants, you know, it might be a different modality of the same plant, you know, as meat, but it was still plant initially, right? So we've been eating plant this whole time. I just happen to inhale plant as well. Yes, yes, to inhaling plant, friends. I don't know if the wind is gonna allow me here. Making myself a little windshield. One of the most beautiful things about marijuana to me is the fact that it allows you a state of meditation. You know, Alan Watts would drink a beer before meditating, and I've tried that. Doesn't really do that much for me, unfortunately. But smoking a bowl before meditating, like that can be quite an experience. And I wonder about that. You know, I wonder about the meditative experience. And something that I really was fascinated by is this understanding that when you close your eyes and when you really reflect just with the self, that time and space melts away in that moment. You know, and they basically pose this question with this dock and a boat that is parked at this dock. And you can do experiments with this docked boat. And you can have a table on the boat, and while it's completely docked and it's completely still at sea, being anchored, you can have, you know, a fish bowl, marble on a table, you know, you can have your forks and your plates, and things will be completely stationary, stable. Then, if there was like extreme, you know, wind and turbulation, you're getting, you know, whipped around in time and space, if you will. All of these things would move around and they would fall onto the, you know, ground. Then, alternatively, ah, Pepe, what's that? Ah. Pepe had a big clump of dead thing in her mouth. Leave that alone. Thank you. That's nice. Anyway, So then when the boat starts to accelerate, things will kind of move in one axis, you know. If they don't have the same amount of momentum, they will move in one axis. And in other words, this thing moves forward, you move back, unless you actually correct for your momentum and you lean into it. There we go. That's a sweetie, sweetie. Then, if that ship eventually comes to equilibrium, and the things inside that ship also comes to equilibrium, meaning they move the exact same speed, there is no way for you to tell whether the thing is moving or standing still in the same way that it was docked before. And this is a very contrived idea to kind of explain that there is no such thing as time and space other than the observer's point of view thereof. Where if you could see time and space, or if you find yourself in this moment, in this time and space, this is what there is. You know, like we are literally traveling at insane speeds, twisting on our axis. Then we're traveling at insane speeds, spinning around our sun. Then we're traveling insane speeds with our sun flying through space and us following that around. Then we're traveling at insane speeds of our sun in the Milky Way, like spinning in that axis. And then we're traveling at insane speeds of the whole Milky Way, flying through space. Like, it is ridiculous, like, literally unfathomable how fast we're moving right now. And yet, we can convince ourselves that we're in this calm state, that I'm sitting still, that there is stillness. And because there is stillness, I can convince myself. I don't know if convince myself is the right word. I feel I've already convinced myself. Within stillness, there is the base state of creation. That if you can find stillness inside of yourself, you can create everything else. That it's from stillness that everything else was fundamentally created. That was just the whole, trip that I had, an imagination. What do you think of it? How does it feel? Mm-mm. The best kind of Bob. Shanna, you're in my heart. Thank you, Shanna. We love you. We love you, Jovan. Thank you for sharing that love too. Do you live in a van or an RV? I've thought about quitting my job to do that. I don't have a job to quit, but I'm making that my job. The ceiling inspector. I'm trying to make that living in a van or an RV my job. I want to go and do that. Right now, I'm living with my parents. With this process, as we're making and selling art, we'll earn enough capital to buy a van. Hopefully, it'll be completely electric. I would like a van that has like electric roof, and then that electric roof can kind of expand outwards, so you can get even more range. And then I just want to travel South Africa with the power of the sun, power these streams with the power of the sun. I feel like it would be such a way of living, such a way of existing in this world, to be able to see things, to be able to move my home. One of the most beautiful parts about where it is I'm right now is the views that I get. And even though I've been here for a long time, like probably 488 days, probably 488 days of the time we've been here. I don't think I've spent a single moment thinking to myself, man, I'm getting sick of what I have around me right now. I'm getting sick of the view. Never. But I never get sick of the view wherever I am. So if I can, instead of just living in appreciation for not getting sick of the view, also give myself the ability to have different views to be in appreciation of, that sounds like a beautiful life to me, friend. So I feel if that is what you want, work this job that you're working, plan for the future, right? Get a game plan, dude, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, and then figure out what you would like to do in 10 years, what you would like your life to look like in 10 years. Because things don't happen in a month, in a year. Things happen in decade time spans. So start showing up, friend. You got this. I've never seen a wood bong before. It's bamboo. It's bamboo, and this little down stem is made out of a weed branch. Yes, marijuana plant branch that goes down into it. It's pretty amazing. Mathematical. It's easy maths. Love is true. if you're faced with a problem, you're just like, what is the solution? Oh goodness, love, because that's the truth. When Sangu, I still don't know what that means. The cousin. I'm still curious though. Not to mention, you gain weight from drinking beer. It's calorie dense. It's like slurping down loaves of bread. But unfortunately, you're slurping down loaves of bread with alcohol molecules. So your body is basically instantaneously switching to no more processing of anything else other than these alcohol molecules mode. Yes, it's very eloquent, I know. Like TM. So your body not only gains weight because of the calories, but it gains more weight from the same amount of calories that it would if it was just calories. So you get double whammied. It's nice. What's the concept here? Little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Everything and everything, all of the time. Little bit of everything, all of the time. Little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a... I want to watch the Bo Burnham Inside again. I need to watch it again. Then again. Again, Isaac, love to you, friend. YVM saying, yeah, the psych ward thing was like 4 years ago, and it would have never happened if I smoked weed instead. Smoked weed and had a cool conversation with your homies, dude. Try to get to the root of your own issues, get to the root of theirs. You know, it's you can do that with alcohol, but it's significantly more difficult. We have Talia saying, my dad was heavily addicted to alcohol for decades. If there's an upside to COVID, it's him being able to get out of his addiction. Certainly, this one. Man, that's amazing, actually. You know, and I feel I have been trying to almost find positives out of COVID because there's so many, and even in my mind, conspiracy theories about why COVID is the way that it is and time frame and all of it, all of it. So it really is this choice, I think is the right word, to try and find the good things that came out of it. I mean, this. Think about it. Think about it. Like we wouldn't be in this moment right now if it wasn't for COVID, in a way. Like everything, all of the decisions we made, the social media we used, me starting these streams. I don't know if it was directly like, yeah, it's COVID. I need to start streaming every day. No, but the world I was living in, still technically. I mean, not so much right now, but 578 days ago, it was still very much COVID time. So people were staying inside of their homes. And I'm thinking about Aunt B right now and her wisdom of doing what you can with what you have where you are. And how we have that right now. That we're doing what we can with what we have where we are. All over the world. We get to share community. We get to share a moment together. We get to serve. We get to serve. Thank you. Thank you, friends, so much. Thank you for sharing. That as well, Talia. I appreciate you allowing me to share back. New Orleans economy is all centered around party culture and tourism. There's bars on every corner. Temptation is just too great. Yeah, especially since it's like a human thing, you know? Like bars are made for humans. You can go in human there. So I get that as well. That's technically the draw. But we can human places outside of alcohol culture as well. And I feel we are kind of coming around to that now. Thank you so far, so far. So far. Thank you for the wholesome. Siobhan, I appreciate that. Great to see you, Isaac. Thank you for the love. Oh, welcome. A wholesome for all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're wholesome. Sunny is at work right now, but I'll share the beauty I'm absorbing right now with him later. Please, please do tell him that I was thinking about him as well. You know what I was weirdly thinking about, Talia? As soon as I heard that you were in a relationship, I was thinking about the books that you recommended to me. Come on, the creator of MDMA and 2CB. You know, yeah, you already said it. Yeah, him. Yes, you know. And I was just like feeling that vibe from the relationship that you're having right now, and I was like, yes, yes, Dalia, happiness. You have manifested happiness, and it, like the amount of happiness that that brings me. You know, the fact that you two get to now be in service of one another. You get to help one another grow. You get to support one another. He's at work right now, and you get to be here. You know, you get to absorb this moment, as you mentioned. Get to share it with him. Both of you are playing such beautiful roles, and I appreciate you for choosing to share even a moment with us. So much love to you. Going for the third ball? Yes. Yes. We have to connect all three of them. Okay. I believe that we're not doomed. I believe that the love we're going to still see this world capable of is going to like astonish us. I believe we'll be a part of that astonishment. I believe the joy we'll be able to share with one another and with like to share with one another and to share with others, you know. And there shouldn't be a distinction, but there might still be, is going to continuously create even more unity. And I celebrate that. Celebrate you. Thank you for being in service of the world, in service of love. Hmm. We are back home after a weekend in nature, feeling grateful for the space and all of you. Hope it's all well. I'm thinking about little Scott, dude. How did you find it? How was the camp? Hey there, a cochino. A relationship with a plant is valid, just like a relationship with alcohol is valid. And I wasn't trying to draw lines. I was just sharing a story, friend. Why I have the relationships I have right now, instead of the relationships that I had. You know, and it's more a sharing of the perspective than a sharing of what you should be doing. Because I don't know your life. I don't know what you have access to. I don't know your friends. I don't know what has been expected of you, you know, in life. So I can't tell you what you're supposed to do. All I can share is what I know about my own experience. And if you can find either value in that shared experience or value in not having had that experience or having value in not wanting that experience, I appreciate you for sharing this moment with me. Thank you, friend. Wow, thanks, hon. Now living next to the mountains in Tennessee. Doesn't that sound amazing? Nature can be such an incredible and powerful force. Like just reading those words, you know. I don't know what the mountains in Tennessee look like, but the mountains in Tennessee inspire life in me. I want to see them too. Thank you, Sofa, for letting your eyes see them, dude. After all the eyes we share. Balance. Y'all can't sit here and act like one drop of alcohol is Satan. I don't. Pretty sure we didn't once do that. To you too. How's life? Thank you, Talia, for asking. Didn't realize you were in LA. Sounds amazing. It does, right? Not at all. Here he is. Here you are. Thank you, Jumpin' Jumanji, for joining us, friend. So much love to you. There you are. Love to. I'm late, but finally here. You were in this moment. Brother Ryan, there's no such thing as late. There's no such thing as late, dude. I mean, there is such thing as other people's perception of time, you know, and it's a stream title that we'll use within the next 3 days or whatever. But it's about spending time with other people and how sometimes we avoid spending time with other people because we inevitably become all caught up in their paranoias. And one of the paranoias that we are all caught up in is time. Oh no! Oh,
So I only have 5 minutes left. Do you only have 5 minutes left? And then in some contexts, if you have to take the bread out of the oven, you can't be like, oh, time is an illusion. Leave it in for 55 years. No. Also doesn't work that way. But technically, the bread also has the illusion of a certain sense of time. It takes it a certain amount of time to become its perfect self. And who are you to say what a perfect self is? Maybe the bread's ideal self, maybe the self the bread strives to be is completely burnt to a crisp, like shrunk up black hole of bread. Maybe. Who are we to say? And that's the whole joke. That's the same thing for you. Because you are the one that gets to say about yourself. And nobody else knows. Nobody else knows, Fred. You got this. Thank you, brother Ryan, for shooting in and for letting me shoot in with you. So much love to you. It's nice to have you in the space. Maxine, again, love to you. Oh, no, no. Oh, boy. I'm looking forward to that topic. It's going to be a cool one. I'm looking forward to it, too. I think, like, I'm not going to share the punchline that I'm planning on sharing with the stream, right? Like, the understanding that I've tried to extract from it. But I look forward to sharing that one as well. It's so cool. I get to constantly think about things. I get to experience things. Things I experience make me think about things. I write down the things I think, and then I get to share the things I think with you friends. And then you friends make me think things. And then I get to think things. And I get to. And that is literally the thing that brings me the most joy in this world. To be able to experience the full depth of our beingness. And the fact that we get to do that together. I get to not only experience more and more depth, but I get to experience more and more depth in you friends, see you friends grow in your depth, and then that makes me want to grow even more in my depth. And we're still in the like almost infant state of this process. Imagine doing this for decades. How much growth we will experience. It's gonna be wild. Oh, howdy friends. Pleased to see you here. Pleased to have you too. Again, brother Isaac. Can't tell you how much I've missed you, friend. I've I got to have a chat with Johan and Christian yesterday on stream. And when Johan tuned in, of course, you came with him, dude. That archetype. So much love to you. Beansy, thank you for the love, Jumpin' Jack. There is an interesting walking meditation technique that asks you to toggle between the feeling that you are a being moving through space and then the feeling that you are the stationary space and everything is moving towards you. Woo! Oh my goodness, dude! I'm just now realizing some of us believe one or the other. Do you believe you are the moving being taking yourself places? Or do you believe the places come closer to you? And I honestly believe, and this is the way I've lived my life almost for the whole of it, is that things come closer to me. That I don't actually go towards things. And it's again from this perspective of duality, where if I go towards things, that is separation. So things come towards me, which is acknowledgement of the melting, right? The instead of living from the inside out, like, oh goodness, this is stripping me out right now. Thank you, Isaac. I love it, dude. Mm. So if I take this body, use this vehicle, right, to move myself towards that tree is gonna come closer to the observer, and the observer doesn't move. It's ever present. It is the thing where everything else originates from. Ah, dude. Oh, at least that's what I believe. That's what I think. That's what I kind of think of as the torus as well, in a way. Where that center field is the thing that kind of like condenses all the energy and then it sends it out back into itself. It's like a it's like a whole oscillation. Another infinity, but a hyperbolic one. So it has internal space and external space. But there is no external space. It can have space as an access of external space. So you can kind of have it almost mirror in a way, in a negative, the internal space
to the external space into infinitum. Yes, surely. Surely that's something that can happen. I love the space so much. I'm sending as much positivity and serenity in all directions. Inside, observing right now in this moment, into everything else. Things don't have to come to you for you to love them, right? There doesn't have to be a stimuli for you to love something. You can love without having the stimulus. Lisa, wonderful to see you. Jujaju. Boop de boo. Sofa too. Isaac, right, friend? And Max Beans. Y'all jumping in here faster than I can type here. Thank you for taking the time to. I appreciate that, Jovan. So beautiful. The goal of the practice, realizing that we can elicit the response we want, and resting somewhere in between everything is just simply happening where and how it is. After listening to, I think there was this Zen monk or something. He was talking about listening to the birds and how the birds are technically an illusion. He says to me, and I'm like, birds are an illusion. That little dude. I don't think he's an illusion. I think he's a whole ass being. But the illusion is that he is outside of me. That he is him out there living a life completely separate from mine. And I'm here, me, living a life completely separate from his. But I can hear him right now, right? He's creating, like, he created this dialogue. He's speaking through me in a way. Maybe this is what he wanted to have say. Respect to you, little burp. So much respect to you. Duty calls off to the daily grind, Lurbsia. I see a beautiful technicolor beetle marching forward. I don't know what that means, but I feel it can be seen as a shield as well. And you going into duty, shielding yourself from, in a way, literally darkness, lack of energy, lack of fire. I've been thinking of wealth, resources as fire as of late, and I've been thanking fire. I've been thinking about Maxine a lot and thanking fire. She gave me a stick of Palo Santo, so when I light my Palo Santo, I thank fire, and then I switch between Brother Ryan's Palo Santo stick right now and Maxine's Palo Santo stick, and then I feel guilty for only saying thank you to Maxine or thank you to Ryan, and as I say thank you to both times. It's so wonderful. Thank you, friends. Thank you again. I thank you so many times, but I'll continue to. The goal of the practice is to realize. I think I've already read one. Thank you again, Brother Isaac. Man, I appreciate your presence. You know, gone for a bit, and it says like completely, instantly presence. May the bless and serendipity shower us all on this day. Thank you, Jump Jumanji, for manifesting that, friend. So much love to you, dude. Infinite love to you. Sending love to you, friends. Hey, Aiden, anyone else is practicing on that side? Thank you for sending love to Aiden. Aiden, I actually sent Aiden a message today, Isaac. So it's crazy that you're sending him some love as well right now. Such good vibes. Hey, a part animator tagging the Meltmore Patreon. If you friends want to support this space that we're building financially, tangibly, fire, you want to add some wood to the fire that is Meltmore, I have a Patreon where I make flowers. Today's colors will be, I mean, the blue might not be in, but I'm thinking about maybe adding blue. Yeah, vote. Add blue, yay or nay? Add blue? It's either gonna be just pink and black and this colors, or maybe blue as well. I can literally hear the infinity scream. Blue, 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 yeah, white blue. Add blue to it. Fine. Thank you for bringing the concept of thanking fire. It's making me think about how insightful it can be to observe fire. So, very trippy. And this is something that Johan and Christian told me on a live stream once, is that fire was believed as the first
knowledge giver. Because when we as human beings figured out fire, we would have more time into our night hours where we would just stare into the flames, maybe make sounds at one another, and then have, these fractals kind of influence us, like literally communicate things into our psyches. So maybe fire was the original communicator, and now we have, in a way, kind of like transmuted fire into this, like very intricate fire, individual pixels of fire on your screen right now, being like, intricately. It's kind of it's kind of trippy, and being thankful of that, I feel, is the only way that we can really cope with it almost. Like we can believe it's evil, as people probably did at one point in existence, right? Imagine the first people, the first tribe that had fire compared to the tribe that didn't have fire. They were probably like, oh, these beings literally have Satan with them. They carry Satan just around on a stick. It's an angry Satan. He's so angry that he literally like bubbles your skin. Oh, he just bites you brutally if you touch him. Like murders if there's a lot of him. And they have him on a stick. They have him on a stick. They're crazy. They must be Satan. And it's the same thing probably of the technological revolution that we're going into right now. There's going to be a separation in believing that technology in and of itself is the evil. What's going to be evil is separating yourself from nature. And if you're integrating into technology to the point where you're no longer in nature, appreciative of nature, I feel maybe then it's going to be a problem. But the only thing that we have to do is stay aware. We just have to pay attention. Stay aware and pay attention. It really is the only way. Observe the fire. It's absolutely destructive, yet we perceive destruction as a negative. Yet I'm not thinking of it as repurposing instead of destructing it. You mean like fire burning a stick of wood, for example? Just popping in to say, I love you, all dear friends. Love you, Clint. It's so nice to have you, friend. I tested positive for COVID on Thursday, to say the least. The last few days have been brutal. It's an understatement. I see a line that goes down, and it has two little that goes around like that, and then it has an not really oval, almost like eye shape that goes around those little shapes. So could be a handle with like things attached to a little shield as well. Could be an eye. Could be a weird type of alien eye actually if you flip it around and look at it that way. I see you, Clint. Sending you love, friend. Hope you get better soon. Think of this, and I've really been like kind of harping on this train, but think of this as a genuine opportunity for you to build T cells against something that you don't want to have, right? Like this virus, this COVID you have right now, is something you don't want to have in the future, and by having it right now, you technically are equipping yourself not to have it in the future, which you can argue. You getting older, as we all do, it's going to be worse and worse getting it later than it is going to be having it now. So to try, and I know it's difficult to try and practice gratitude for having it now instead of then. And the last time I had COVID was in 2020, end of the year, and it was brutal for a bit, but it was then that I tried to practice that, for the first time, and it helped a little bit. Sending you love, Clint. We'll hold you in this moment, friend. We'll be here for you. Keep showing up. Keep breathing. Just a fire can repurpose something into something totally different. It can be absolutely shredded emotionally or repurposed, but that is not destruction, just rearrangement. I feel that, Isaac. Have you thought about, instead of seeing it as either, just seeing it as, beingness itself? Instead of like watching a person and seeing them as a corpse, to see them as the person, right? Like that's the analogy that I'm trying to pull now. Is sure the wood is going to be destroyed because of the fire, but if you're thinking about the wood's destruction, instead of just looking at the flames, maybe you're missing the point. I'm not saying you're missing the point. I'm just saying in this analogy, missing the point. And I mean, you can't help it. You know, that's the beauty of it as well. Like it's almost automatic to notice the flames. So you can't actually miss the point, but you can project the point out into the future or into the past. You know, oh, I've destroyed the wood that I had collected. Now I have to go and gather wood again. And then you're projecting in your mind in that way instead of just looking at the flames. So many different things to think about. Thank you, Isaac, for making me friend. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear this. It's okay, Shannon. It's not your fault, friend. He's gonna get better soon. I believe it. Sending healing energy. Thank you for the love, friends. He's strong enough. He's been strong enough, like throughout all of this. This is, I mean, literal microorganisms. You know how freaking amazing Clint as a being is. He has this human body, you know, that is pretty small on the scale of this planet. Then he has this human mind, which is, by all measures, infinitely large, exploding off from him. And then I believe this mind integrates into something even more infinite than that. And then there's like this micro little organism that's like, yeah, I'm gonna mess your shit up. Clint is gonna beat this little thing's face in. I'm sorry, COVID 19, but get wrecked. Get wrecked, COVID. Armias Fleur Clint, you're so loved, friend. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you again for tagging the Meltmore link. I appreciate it so much. I want a homestead on property and the nearest neighbor to be miles away. Grow my own food, weed, and mushrooms, and live out the rest of my days in peace and serenity. Have you considered South Africa? Have you considered South Africa, Maxine? Property is pretty cheap here. Like, unironically. I'm listening to the Burbs. Can I come too? I'm 100% jumping Jack Jumanji. I'm rolling a joint for us now, Jack. There we go. Maxine, that sounds so sick. That amazes me about marijuana is the absolute melting of social barriers. Just one or two hits in. If I'm one on one, I instantly begin sharing purely. I find it's almost always reciprocated. I think so as well, Isaac. You know, and weirdly enough, some of my best friendships, I mean, my best friendships, started by offering people the joint I was smoking. And then them being like, yeah, 100%, I want to smoke a joint with you. And then just having chats, you know, as you mentioned, like genuinely sharing, purely sharing. And then that is reciprocated, and you get to acknowledge, you get to notice the actual being. You get to see the person instead of just seeing the persona. You get to see their beingness instead of just seeing who they're trying to be. And that is the beauty of these experiences. Not so much that you get high, but the fact that it can kind of tune you both into a certain frequency. It's beautiful. Thank you, Isaac, for respecting it in that way and like using it in a way that's beneficial. Shaking addiction of any kind is a victory. Sometimes a catalyst that inspires change can be painful, but the end certainly can justify the means. That goes for a lot of things in life. Very well said, Jumpin' Jack. Hey, thank you for the gold. I do like gold. Oh, IVM saying your streams are great, so here's some appreciation. Thank you, beloved friend. I'm honored. I appreciate you so much. I think I missed a few. I like that. It's similar to consciousness in a way. We consume our environment via information, and our minds burn the information, creating a picture or a flame. There we go. We have free will to contract said picture or the story we craft, just as fire dances in the wind. Outside experience can alter our perception of something. Woo! Yo! Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? You know, I didn't have that in my mind at all, but now I can't not have it in my mind. You see, how about that? I want to read that again. So, with this analogy of the mind as fire, and the fire as fire, the wood being destroyed, the fire being the experience worth having, this being the experience worth having, instead of kind of focusing on the fact that we are actively inching closer to death, right? Like there is so much duality in this experience, and then this analogy of the wind, the outside environment influencing the flame, the perception of the mind's flame. Dude, woo, Isaac. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read his words exactly again. I like that. It's similar to consciousness in a way. We consume our environment via information, and our minds burn the information, creating a picture or a flame. We have free will to contort the said picture or the story we craft, just as fire dances in the wind. An outside experience can alter our perception of something. Lock this dude up. He's too ahead of his time, you know. Straight jacket him and then straight jacket his straight jacket. Throw him in. You know, I feel this way sometimes about us, Isaac, where I'm like worried. I'm like, goodness, how did we get this way? How did we get this way, friend? You know, it's not like we were taught. Yeah, here, smoke weed, little Timmy, and then become a philosopher. No, Mom, I want to be a doctor. No, Timmy, you're gonna become a weed smoking philosopher. No, Mom, I want to be an engineer. No. This is your destiny. No. We just happen to be this way. Hello, I'm back. I wrote a song about a woman who died a horrible death and was led astray by her grief from being dead. So she became a ghost that drains your energy to feel alive again. That sounds interesting, Nova. Do you want to believe in this lady? In this woman? Hmm. Because I believe words are magic. And especially songs, dude. That's like magic too. You know, people were like, "Yeah, let's magic with words," and then they were like, "You know what? How can we make the magic more spicy?" And they were like, "Let's sing the magic." Skibbly bas, bum bum bum. Literally singing magic, dude. So like that's pretty cool, but I'm instantly terrified, dude. That's horrific. I don't want to hear about this horrible death, astray laid women ghost that now is she haunting people? Is she angry as well at the world? To let us know. Does the song let us know, or is it more up for your interpretation after listening to the song? I don't know. We're a songwriter. How sugoi of you! It is incredible how, because you listened to someone saying verbs are an illusion, it allowed you to think deeply over time, giving you a chance to share that created an entire new analogy of its own. Depth begets more depth. You know, that's why I believe that we can continue doing this into infinity, and we'll never run out of things to say that will make us feel things. We'll never hit a threshold of like, okay, I'm done being able to feel. Guess that was nice. You know, it's just about whether we will allow ourselves to or not. Thank you, Brother Isaac, for allowing yourself to, trying to communicate. That's how we got this way, literally. Thank you, Mariah, for not trying, but actually communicating. And we're all just playing on a sandbox made of new shapes. Yeah, literally. I blame Bill and Ted. I mean, their adventures were pretty excellent, dude. And their mantra of be excellent to each other and rock on, my dudes, you know, is very much words I live by. So I feel it, dude. Bill and Ted is a vibe. Still, very beautiful archetype in my mind. Thank you for being a creature of service. Your devotion has a huge effect on so many across the world. You are greatly appreciated. Jumpin' Jack Jumanji. Thank you, friend, for the love, friend. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. You do the same. Being in this moment with me, you're creating the space. Mariah, thank you for the love. Thank you so much. I watched the video you sent me. Very, very vibey. Very old timey. Very slow build up y. Get you into the groovy. Yes. all of the above. Thank you. Thank you again. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful, friend. I appreciate that love, Jumpin' Jack. 2020 was one of the best and most dramatic years of my life. I kept getting so many manifestations that I had been asking for, yet scared because of the state of the world and the sickness happening. I was stuck in China for most of it. And then the thing I was manifesting for the whole year is just getting back home. And for me, it was such a relief, Maxine. It was like nirvana, like straight up nirvana, ceaseless. I was just like, wow, and then I was like, holy shit, I need to do things. I need to human being. And then I started streaming every single day. What a trip. What a trip 2020 was. It has shaped us, definitely, Maxine. Thank you for actually believing that these things you're manifesting are for the good of not only you but for all of us. Beings, as big as the world is, we can choose to narrow the aperture when we need to focus on healthy things. I love that. Thank you, Jumpin' Jack Jumanji, for sharing your wisdom as well, friend. We need to remember to focus on ourselves and maintain balance in our own little place on this planet. And I feel that's the coolest thing about how we're doing this right now. The fact that we can just tune in with our little fractal accessors. Think of these cell phones, fractal accessors. You access the fractal, tune in a little bit, and then you can tune out of the fractal and be present within yours. And it's just about finding balance within those fractals that we find ourselves in. What's up, buddy? We're tuning in. We're tuning in to service. On B recommended specifically the word service. And I feel the service that it is I'm trying to provide you, friends, has grown more and more. And if it wasn't for you, friends, showing up with me in the way that you do, I don't think I'd be able to be what I am. So thank you, friends, for making Melt more. I'm Melt, you are more. More than Melt, literally. You are literally more than me. Think about that. Like, actually. Okay, anyway. And then we come together, and that is Melt more. We come here and we melt more. And then we can go out into the world and be ourselves, be our individualized expressions. Do so with the knowing that love is true, with the knowing that if we show up every single day, we can manifest anything. And that's going to become our message. That is our message. You friends are actively telling me the same thing, and I cannot tell you enough how much I love people like Goo. So nice to see ya, Goobert. A goop to see you, friend. Yes, the woman is haunting people. She is toying with them, draining their energy. She misses being alive, led astray by her own grief. Meltmore asking alien noises and swaying. I mean, alien noises. Who says they're alien? Who says they're alien? You can call them alien, or you can just call them the noises that you've made, friend. Right? It was a version of you within the infinite spectrum of being, of what could be, making those noises. Maybe saying something. Maybe talking about, his love life. Dude, my I'm trying to think about some sort of contrived alien love life, and the best thing that my mind could come up with is my pentagonal relationship or something like that, is really putting some strain on my being, dude. It's giving me some grief. Oh, thank you for tuning into the alien frequencies with us. Interesting how relatable that ghost could be. I almost interpret what you're sharing as a metaphor for someone who has placed all their faith and divinity in someone or something outside of themselves. In my mind, she sounds like people I know, living in death, given up on the depthless well of love inside, having placed the source of love into something impermanent, a relationship or an experience. Isaac, I feel the stupider I become, the smarter you become, and it inspires me to melt more, dude. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, and then Isaac is gonna be like, and everybody's like, I'm not making any sense, am I? So I'm imagining a world, like you can think of it as digital as well, actually, where you can create these beautiful little scenes, almost like a show, you know. So like, the remember that scene on Rick and Morty where he just stared at the camera after like murdering a bunch of people, like a bunch of cops and stuff, and he just like, and then everybody's like, yeah, man, you know what? After making those sounds, I think I understand. I think I forgive him. You know, like I was imagining a scene like that, and me being like completely incapacitated to the point where I can only make like basic grunting noises, and then Isaac tunes in and he just speaks pure light, and then the pure light just absolutely enlightens everyone that's around. Yes, welcome to my mind. I'm sorry. Let me out! Let me out of this! I'm sorry, please. Oh, thank you, friends. Just the people I know. Thank you, brother Isaac, for tuning in so beautifully, friend. How cool, Nova. You're awesome. You're awesome, Isaac. You're awesome, friend. All of us are awesome. That's the beauty of this space. We get to share our awesomeness with one another. I was thinking the same thing, Isaac. I know some like that. I think we all do. Me being a little bit of an energy vampire, trying to get Puppy to come and sit with me, blowing her ears. Wanna come and sit with me? Yeah, 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 yeah. Jinxed her. Mm. Thank you for spending some time with me, sweetie girl. How's the day treating you? Treating me well. I'm treating myself well within the day, instead of expecting the day to treat me well as a condition for treating myself well. I feel the lesson I'm taking away today. How about you, Uncle Becky? The elusive Ooby. Oop. The elusive Oop. I want to use that one again. He loved it so much. Time with people and animals. He really enjoyed the tent. Snuggled up so good. He really saw a whole new world and fell in love with it. I'm just imagining the absolute sheer joy of his being, going through those moments. Thank you, Isaac, for taking him and having him there. You here, fine day to you. 2020 pierced my heart with a dull spoon. Ooh, what a beautiful analogy. But it's completely anecdotal. It was also the first time my dad stopped working, like his whole life. He still got some old habits, but the pandemic changed him in ways I thought impossible. More, more beautiful moments that came out of the whole experience. Thank you, Jovan, for sharing that as well, for allowing us to, bathe in that. Today is the day, after all. The day, the day. It's a fine day. What is the day? Hmm, missing. If the heart still beats and we can stand our feet, then it's a chance to enjoy the people we meet. Thank you, Jumpin' Jack. Oh, I love that, friend. I was thinking the same thing, Isaac. Squib! Squib again, squib! Their stressful evening. I'm glad you feel that way, Mel. I do, Brother Bear. My dog swallowed so much floss, and I had to induce vomiting. It was difficult and uncomfortable for us both, but we succeeded and he yucked it all up. I'm sure he understands that you were just trying to help him. He probably noticed that it was like, oh, yeah, that probably shouldn't be inside of me, should it? Thank you, Brother Gob. Thank you so much for taking that effort. I feel more like the embodiment of Morty in the episode where Rick Randon is like, Morty, you have to turn into a car, Morty. You've got to transform. I've never told you, but you haven't transformed. Just absolute panic and confusion as he's straining, trying to figure it out. And then Rick is like, to forget. We're fine, oh yeah. All just morning. Proud of you, Gav. Happy knowing your pup is in the best hands. You're so strong, literally. Like that is genuinely inspiring. Sounds very unpleasant, Gav. I'm happy to hear you all got it out. Thank you, Shannon, for recognizing him as well. So much love to you, Gav. You're a freaking absolute monster, dude. In a good way. Yes. good monster. The type of monster you want to find under your bed. Like I'm just actually imagining myself finding God under my bed and just him kind of like laying like this, coyly smiling at me, and I'm like, "Hey, you God, you shit is for you." You want to smoke a joint with me? And it's like, Mel, I'm trying to stop, bro. I'm the monster. Look at me, God. I'm the monster now. So much love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us, dude. Like, I'm so happy to hear that you actually got to notice. Like I feel like that would be the worst thing is not even noticing that he ate the floss in the first place. Professor Guru is getting summoned to the space. Where are you based? South Africa, friend. Is it cold over there? It's like 13 degrees Celsius right now or something. Thank you, Isaac. I like the interpretation. I guess the ghost is relatable because she has a human, because she was a human. She died so suddenly. She just trying to do anything she can to feel alive, putting her all into grief, I'm guessing. I agree, Nova. Do you feel you relate to the character? Maybe there's something being said about yourself in the expression of this woman's grief as well. Are you grieving about something particularly right now? Are you trying to feel? Cupid and the monster. Under the bed. Thank you, under the bed. Is it cold over there? Yeah, a little bit. Leah, it was hard dealing with lots of loss, but I survived and came out stronger than before. We will continue to. Thank you, Jovan, for being that inspiration as well. Active meditation is a practice that can open doors that are otherwise unseen. Checking up your breath all through the day. We don't chase, we attract. There we go. And I knew you would like Judy did that as well. As I was like saying it, thank you, Maxine. I feel you, Jovan. You're not alone. I'm happy to see your outcome. Thank you for the love, Talia. It's gonna happen for us all. Infinite Donut, yes, Infinity Donut, the Taurus. Thank you, Zhu Zinger. I'm happy that I'm not sounding completely insane. It's at least some people was like, yeah, I I see what he's kind of finagling at. Active meditation is the term we use. It means exactly what it sounds like. The focus is on the motion and the interaction experienced while remaining separate and present. To be in the world, but not of the world. Jumpin' Jack. Friend. We are one and the same source. Yes, we are, Zhu Schringer. Yes, this is also what I love about working out. A bit stoned, same. Helps me feel my body so much better. The mind muscle connection when I'm stoned and exercising is beautiful. Working out stoned makes the entire experience so much better. I'm so happy I'm not the only one. I almost do it like reliably with like smoking. I'll smoke a little bit of weed and then go into my exercise. I've done 3 hours after eating an edible in kratom. I've never had. It's supposed to be said kratom, right? I've never had kratom. Dropping the filters can be a bit daunting at times, but it has a rawness. It has a new level of difficulty. It's difficult in the way where you feel and you realize you can no longer bullshit yourself, right? Jumping Jack. You're like very much faced with the reality of what is, and there's no unfacing it. There's good lessons there, Nova. We can become that ghost even in life. Let us not strive to suck happiness from others, but instead to build up their love, to allow them to build ours. When we take, we lose. When we give, we gain. Yep. And it's the recognition of unity, right? Because you cannot take from anything other than yourself. So give, be in service. Be in service and it's going to serve you. It's a paradox, but it's a working one. Damn, the experience with Kratom. What's that like? I also don't have any experience. I've heard some things though. Apparently, it's like a stimulant. I guess is the word. We love a challenge. What do you do for income? I teach yoga. I make art. I sell Soulfire. Yes, for as little as $1.11, you can buy Soulfire from me. Dude, I actually like that, Schrodinger. I sell fractal flowers in a way, technically, but Soulfire sounds pretty lit. If someone asks me what I do for income, I sell Soulfire. I am Milkmore after all. Thank you for that, Zushinger. I love that, friend. But yeah, I do. I teach yoga right now. I give like sanghas, which is like a community get together. I make art and I do these streams, but I don't ask money for these streams. I don't expect to, ever do ads on these streams either. If I ever do an ad, it's gonna be like, bros, I got this thing, and I cannot tell you how much I love thing, but it's not gonna be because someone paid me to say that. I am very critical with things, unfortunately. I feel I have had buyer's remorse with 95% of things that I've bought myself. And it has been this weird, almost like, I don't know if exponential, maybe like exponential curve, where the frequency of buying things slash the life satisfaction really kind of showed me it like really does that. So I was like, yeah, I realized it was like buying a lot of things, and then it kind of like accelerated that process. It kind of like went into that curve, and now it's in that upward swing where I realize no matter what I buy myself, it's not going to allow me any particular amount of happiness. So if I'm gonna buy myself something, it should be for a reason, not to get happiness, but to achieve some sort of task. Camera to take photos, etc. Nothing can give you happiness outside of yourself. Really realizing that has been a life changer for me as well. It's very relatable. She's doing it all wrong in ways. She, as a person, was not evil, but she could go to heaven. She could go to heaven, but she was in such shock and grief that she was led astray by her own emotions, self-destructing. Did she feel like something needed to be differently, right? Like that's what I'm noticing. Is was this grief, this shock coming from this can't be, It needs to be somewhere else. Like share the song with us, friend. We would like to see it. It depends on the strain you use. Ready? I use green Vietnam. So like I believe it's like depending on where they harvest the leaves, right? Like or the stage at which the leaves are. It helps with pain, mood, and energy and focus. It is one. This one also pairs well with the edible I eat. The combo was so efficient. I walked over 10 miles just in the zone, moving through space and time. Kratom is a sneaky thing. It can initiate a dependency response in the body if one does not approach it slowly. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Kratom. That's also why I haven't really ventured into it. Jumpin' Jack. I don't want to have dependency on anything. And I feel the closest thing that I do have dependency on right now is coffee before weed, actually. So, Sober October is just around the corner. We're gonna go for a whole month. No substances again. In the form of flowers that make you remember to be present and bring love. Thank you, friend. Like it's beautiful that you're. I don't even know if I know you, Shruzinger, but I feel I know you, Shruzinger, and it's beautiful to me. Thank you for letting yourself be seen while you're streaming from South Africa. I still tell my friends here in the USA, I met some of the most incredible people over in the world in these streams, and they're like, "What's technology?" We're ahead of our time. Think of it that way, Sofa. It's only going to become more distributed. I love fire, one of the greatest gifts given to us, in my opinion. So much power, and at times cleansing the spirit. What I've been doing with the Palo Santo sticks is really bringing it close to my eyes and bringing it close to my ears, and that heat, like, genuinely feels healing as well. Like, absolutely. I saw the same image. It was black and with a flower bloom. With a flower bloom. I think so, actually. That's kind of trippy jumping. Another person stuck in quarantine, sending all the love. Thank you, friend. I hope you get better soon, too. Immunity only lasts a couple of months. No. Your T cells remember, friend. It's your T cells that you want to know the information that they need to know to be able to defend you
the next time there is something to be defended against. Surely you can get vaccines, and then it kind of gives your body the RNA to code for the information your T cells need. But getting the actual virus also does that. And I'm not saying go out and get COVID right now. It's great. Definitely not. What I'm saying is, if you have COVID right now, think of it as an opportunity to become a little bit more immune to it. Your T cells literally have to figure out how to identify these viruses and how to kill them. If it doesn't figure it out, you die. So you will survive, and realize that in surviving, you are literally becoming upgraded, becoming more immune to something. That is the reality of it. Dude, I always mask anything, anytime I go out anywhere. I'm usually the only one masking, but I still haven't caught COVID. Fingers crossed, still haven't caught COVID. What an absolute gangster, sofa, sofa, sofa. That's actually impressive. Be right back. I need to call my family real quick. It's cool. YVC. We look forward to seeing you again. The only thing I caught was a vibe. Yeah, yeah, I'll go back. Yeah, I like that. Are there wild animals like Lion King? Not really. Weed has totally helped me deepen my spiritual journey. Mine too, absolutely. Especially if you use it in conjunction with meditation, it makes a big difference. Have a love bomb, everyone, every single one. Reading this is a wonderful being. You're loved and appreciated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying that, Talia. So much love to you. How did you like living in China? How did I like it? I didn't. But I'm sorry, Frank. I don't. I don't know. I don't want to say anything other than that. I don't want to say anything other than that. It was an experience worth having, like any other, I guess. But it's not an experience that I would like to have again. It's not an experience I would unhave, but it's not one I want to have again. Children's isn't bad either. Children's isn't bad either. That you may means my bladder feels like it's gonna explode, and I feel I'm missing so many. Eat red meat is here in this moment with us. Buckled immediately. Scary situation. Holy shit! Did it knock him out? Just witnessed my coworker get hit with 480 volts, standing right next to me, and he's still alive, thankfully. Yeah, that is more than enough power to actually kill a person, isn't it? Isn't 2000 volts like a microwave transformer kills you like 1,000 times over? So 480 volts could kill you 250 times over. Shouldn't it be able to like? Oh man, thank goodness he's alive. Did it knock him out? Holy cow! Today's rods feeds next year's fields. Yeah, thank you, friend. Thank you for saying that. That's beautifully said. Can someone offer me a quote for the day? That's a good one. Today's rod feeds the next year's fields. Hmm. I have a bunch of stuff. The Siakelman, the new moon, is cusping the space right now in front of me. Buckled immediately, scary situation. Yeah, that's crazy, Uncle Becky. I'm so happy he's like actually still alive. Well, he doesn't have like a ring on his finger that like caught that electricity. Speaking of sober October, I just finished 50 days off the weeds. Smoked a joint 2 days ago. It rocked me, Lamar. That's the beautiful thing about it as well. Like abstaining from these experiences makes when we have the experiences almost so full that we don't need the experience again for a while. It's quite an experience. Thank you, Eat Red Meat, for allowing yourself that, friend. Dang, I'm glad everyone is okay. Definitely. Like I always say, our next breath isn't promised, so cherish each one as the last. He is a master electrician and very seasoned as well. 480 volt is plenty to kill you or worse. Yeah. So this is not like oh, he just kind of played with an outlet and bzzzt himself. No, this is like murder voltages, and this man survived. That's a miracle. It's an actual miracle. And Uncle Becky, I don't know if this is rash of me to say, but if you weren't in that space with him, who knows if he would have survived it. So thank you, Uncle Becky, for being there in that moment with him as well. Even if it's just to console him after getting shocked, like that is healing in and of itself. I see you, brother Bay. A good detox break really restructured my relationship with weed. I was using way too much. Now I feel a lot healthier with it. No longer on an all day, everyday thing. The all day, everyday thing becomes almost like hazy. You know, everything becomes a blur. You're like almost through life, and it can almost be like nightmarish. So having a good relationship is very much essential. And I feel I'm also trying to. I mean, I'm not smoking all day, every day, fortunately, but I'm smoking more at the end of the day than I should be smoking, right? Like, if I'm gonna be smoking, I should be like smoking a bowl and spending 2 hours with that, you know, if not more. But now it's like three bowls in a hour type of an experience. I think there's like a Vaughn. It's one of these massive lizards, really big lizards. I think I missed a few comments. Okay, like the will self-destructing. There we go. I see a heavy theme of forgiveness. Realizing, just like joy, forgiveness is something created by us, for us. Holding on to an experience creates stagnation of self. Yo, when we try and block the flow of life and nature, but it is to dance in traffic. Sit on the side of the road and watch. There is no way to stop the cars. Thank you. You showed up today, Nova. Thank you, Brother Bear. Thank you. But the song is an analogy about humans, life, and the emotions we feel. But you said it accurately about trying to portray in the song humans can be self destructive in the end. And in the end, you grow. That's the only thing we can do. 480 volts is crazy, crazy shock. Yeah, like I'm still melting. My screen is showing 444. Like it was just 44 minutes past. It's 144 on the timer right now. So tuning into frequencies. My dog got bit by a copperhead last night, and I sucked the venom out. I got to hear that this morning from on B. Like this is the way it went. On B is like, oh yeah, I don't know if you heard, but Toasty got bit by a copperhead, and my heart drops into my freaking socks, Uncle Becky. I instantly die a little bit inside. I'm like, Toasty got bit by a copperhead, and then she takes the camera over to a puppy that has her face just like absolutely blown up. And then she tells us a story about Uncle Becky literally saving this little doggo's life. Fortunately, she got bitten in the nose and not like on the body itself, close to her heart. So Uncle Becky could actually save her. But it was quite an experience, Uncle Becky. Thank you, Brother Bay, for bringing it into this moment as well, so we can acknowledge that. Love to you, dude. Good job. Good job sucking. You got it, Gob. Texas is no joke. Absolutely not. I love all of you friends, sending you a peace of mind through the power of technology. Be well, be kind to ourselves, yourselves. You belong. Your schlongs are long. Be strong. Happy Smile Seeker. Thank you for that love. Thank you, friend, for this love that you shared with me today. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the presence. Thank you for the conscious awareness. Oh Lord, Uncle Becky, you really handy. Gravity Goo is like tuning into all of the frequencies. We're gonna pull a card. We're gonna read what the card says, and then we're gonna skibbity scobbity tune out boobabity. Yes, I definitely have to go to the bathroom, but I feel like I'm riding that wave of like I am aware. Thank you, buddy, that you need to go to the bathroom. I understand. I do understand. Yes, the alarm. Yes. Thank you. Good one. I like it, right? I mean, I don't know if it's completely family friendly, but it is fantastic. It definitely is fantastic. Uh, thank you, Happy Smile Seeker. I'm happy that you're tuning in as well. Wow, poor dog. Poor dog. Burn the flame Burn the flames, create new light, heal and change, grow and melt more. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could watch these streams every day. You can watch them afterwards, Nova. You can watch them afterwards, friend. You can still be just as present with us. I might just not react to you directly, but if you can melt away the separation that you are just who you are and nothing other than who you are, then you can convince yourself that I'm talking to you always. Scaredy pie. Yay, card time. Yeah, card time. Back just in time for some geometry. Squam, squam, squam. Tuning into all of the frequencies. Skibbity bobbity doobout boppity. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's enough shuffling of the cards for today. Hold it up like this. Ow! I mean, nothing happened at all. And then we're gonna find one. Ermias Plur. We have Ermias Plur giving us quarter or this whole stream so far. We're gonna pick one of these cards. Thank you for tuning into that frequency as well, Rata Bay. God will uplift. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Hindi yan, ha? Ooh! No way! No way! This is gonna be trippy. This is gonna be very trippy. I almost feel like this is too weird. Do I want to show you even? Because today was one of those days where I really kind of went into details about this bong again, right? And specifically about this symbol. Man, oh, I recognize the infinite. Man, that's crazy. So this is the flower of life. This is a human. This is the bridge to the other side of the infinity. This is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. It's so much my favorite card that I decided to put this thing on top of my bong, you know? And then not only that, but every single time we smoked, we were like pressing our hands into this symbol. Smoking marijuanas 3 times in the stream for the three axes. And then I have these moments, and then I feel like it's actually fake. That's what my ego is being like. It's like, you're a faker. You're. I'm like, here we are. Here we are. I don't know what cards we're gonna get, but now I get to get this card, and it's the coolest thing ever to me. Even though it's literally a piece of plastic wrapped cardboard. What the vaccine? You see, it's the whole manifestation becomes so powerful, you become scared of it. Thank you for being around. Thank you for being around. So you want to hear what this card says? It's gonna be even trippier, especially with what we were talking about today, with the bit I tried to share about it myself. Red, spreading your vibe to the world. Keep being beautiful. Oh, Betty Daddy, thank you so much, Uncle Becky, for that support and encouragement, friend. Not more. East Coast Rabbit! So nice to have you here, friend. We're just about to read the Sacred Geometry card 26, so you can see what we're talking about. The Antakanara, the bridge. The Antakanara is an ancient healing and meditation symbol that has been used in Tibet and China for thousands of years. It is a part of spiritual anatomy that connects the physical brain and the higher self. It is a bridge of light that aids in your connection to higher dimensions. It is said that the Antakanara has its own consciousness, and that merely being in its presence will raise a person's vibration and assist in healing and personal evolution. Connecting with your higher self will offer insights into virtually any question or inquiry you may have. The Antakanara may be seen as a direct link between your thoughts and your intuitive nature. It is the result of the interaction between matter and consciousness. Meditate with this shape, relax deeply, and give attention to your breath. Sit quietly and open to intuition and insight. Let this time act to strengthen the connection between thoughts and intuition. Realize the capacity for growth and healing you already possess. The answer to your inquiry will come through your ability to bridge the material world and the realm of spirit. You may wish to make a copy of this shape and place it on your altar, beside your computer, or in your healing space. There's totally not a point after healing space, and then it goes on to say, or on your bong. 100%. Whenever you notice it, acknowledge your connection to higher self and the wisdom that is always available through that communication. Thank you. Thank you, universe. You want to see the sunset? Look at that. Look at the colors. Let's see if I can do it more. That's the max. I'm gonna go give some water back to the universe. Make sure to read like the last few of the comments your friends left, and then we'll say goodbye. Oh, good stuff. Like you see, she's barking at something that you friends are looking at. Woof woof woof. Woof 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 woof. Ooh, woof 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 woof. Yes, she's so dramatic. I literally, I'm mocking her, and my mocking her is literally making her be more dramatic. Oh, it's beautiful. Smelt more again. Bridge of light, friend. Thank you, friend, so much. Oh, that pattern on the flower of life. I see that on DMT. It's everywhere, friend. Get him, get him, get him. You get him, you get him. Oh, get him. You go get him. Thank you, friends, for sharing these moments with me. So much love. The synchronicities. The synchronicities. Man, it makes me melt. Seriously. I'm melting. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy. I'm not the only one. Oh, yes. Give me that synchronicity. Step with me, mama. Sing. Dang. That's so trippy. Could I have a card drawn? Maybe. I get a message that helps me in life. Sure, Nova. I will draw a card for you, friend. But I'll read the specific part of it, not the whole card. Can I do this? And this one. Card 57. The icosahedron, I believe. Wow, that sky. Let me get out of the way. Give Mama Nature all the glory she deserves. That tree peeking in on the side is just splendid. Card number 57, Nova. The isosahedron. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Icosahedron? Isosahedron. I think it's isosahedron. The cards kind of like genre, to say it in that way, is perspective and new beginnings. The isosahedron, with its 20 triangular faces, is one of three five-dimensional shapes named the Platonic solids.
The icosahedron is associated with the female side of our natures. The female side. The female side! Nova, I'm melting, dude. Dude, oh goodness. And the element of water. It represents the beginning of new consciousness. Choosing this card suggests that the subject of your inquiry has been in your mind for some time. You ruminate and question, but you are caught in thought patterns that offer you no solutions. It is time to seek a new perspective. Ask for inner guidance from the receptive female aspect of your being. Allow the flow to enter your thoughts in a way that releases old patterns and activates an awareness of what you need to know to free stuck energy and get things moving again. You may be surprised at how easily you untangle the situation once you see it from a fresh vantage point. Use this perspective to help you see the new beginnings that are set to arrive and move with ease and grace into the manifestation of your dreams and vision. How about that, Nova? You manifested that, friend. If you didn't ask for a card to be pulled, I would have ended the stream and there would not have been a card pulled. So thank you, friend. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for asking of the universe. I hope you take that to heart. I hope it feels like something to you. It feels like that card was literally written specifically for you, specifically for this moment right now to me. But that's just my bias. That day we watched the sunset. It was disappearing. There we go, it's back. We watched the Sunday on Friday. We were driving and Scout was staring at the sunset while we were going. It made me think of how it was our second one of the day. Goodness. Actual two sunsets in one day. Interesting card name. It is pretty interesting though, but don't you think? Oh, Jovan, don't play. I know it's just you and me pulling a ratatouille. I love that. Oh man, already my brain is melting. I see 111 always. This is trippy. I know I am kind of stuck. That's why I see 111 222 177 777. Thank you, Mel, for making me melt even more. It does. It's trippy because I related to all of it. I know it to be true. It's you, friend. Coco, it's nice to have you too. Thank you so much for joining us today, friends. It's you, Nova. It's all you, dude. All you have to do is embrace that part of yourself. You have to believe. You have to start saying things that you want to believe. You have to say things to others that you want them to believe. And if we can keep showing up in that way, before we know it, our dreams, our visions will become manifest. It's not an if, it's not a maybe, it's a guarantee. And the only way I can guarantee it is by literally staking my life on it. This, what we're doing right now, is me staking my actual existence on believing, on showing up for an idea that love is true. And you friends have shown me that I'm not absolutely crazy. Maybe a little bit crazy, but not absolutely, not completely all the way bonkers, cuckoos. That background summons so much peace within me. Oh goodness, the Reddit actually just bonked. My phone died. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I love you all so dearly. Melt and all of you wonderful friends. Thank you. The more. Amor. Amor means love. You are more. Amor. Love. I am Mel. Thank you for melting more with me today, friends. I appreciate it so much. Have an amazing day, Jovan, Shannon, Nova, and Coco. I love you, friends. I don't know who else is here. Maybe Gabagoo. Maybe Uncle Bake too. Love you. Have a good day, friends.